Lust is a chain, not because desire is evil, but because uncontrolled desire makes a man weak. It makes him predictable. It makes him easy to manipulate. It turns a grown man into a creature that lives for relief. And a man who lives for relief will never build anything that lasts. Most men don't want to hear this, because lust is one of the last addictions that society still celebrates. Men joke about it. Men brag about it. Men treat it like proof of masculinity. But that is not masculinity. That is hunger with no discipline. That is a dog pulling on a leash. A warrior is not ruled by hunger. A warrior uses hunger as fuel, then commands it. Lust is energy. But when you let it take the throne, it becomes a chain. It wraps around your mind first, then your time, then your attention, then your standards, then your dignity, then your future. And most men don't even realize they're chained, because chains don't always feel like pain at the start. Sometimes chains feel like comfort. Sometimes chains feel like pleasure. Sometimes chains feel like escape. But the bill always arrives. The bill arrives as fog, as weakness, as distraction, as shame, as anxiety, as a quiet feeling that you are not the man you claim to be. Because deep down, you know, a man who is ruled by lust is not free. He cannot focus. He cannot endure boredom. He cannot sit in silence. He cannot build discipline, because his nervous system is trained to chase stimulation. And a man trained to chase stimulation becomes useless when life demands stillness, patience, and long work. This is why lust kills greatness. Not in one dramatic moment, in 1,000 small surrenders, one more scroll, one more fantasy, one more secret session, one more just this once. Then you wake up years later and realize you built nothing, you trained nothing, you mastered nothing, you just fed a craving. You burned your masculine fire on the floor like spilled oil. So let's speak plainly. Lust does not make you a man. Control makes you a man. Strength paired with restraint. Confidence without desperation. Desire without slavery. That is masculinity. And if you want to live under the warrior's code, you do not negotiate with lust. You do not romanticize it. You do not treat it like a harmless habit. You call it what it is, a chain. And you break it. Now, I am not talking to men who have healthy desire, disciplined desire, desire directed toward building a real relationship and family. I am talking to the man whose lust is scattered, the man who is constantly hunting, constantly consuming, constantly craving novelty, the man whose mind is full of images he did not choose, the man who cannot go a day without seeking relief, the man who hides it and then acts like nothing is wrong. You are not fine. You are being weakened, and you know it, because every time you give in, you feel smaller. Not because you are ashamed of desire, because you are ashamed of your lack of control. Control is what gives a man dignity. So today, we restore control, not with guilt, with law, with clarity, with structure, with discipline. Now I will lay down principles. These are not soft ideas. These are weapons. Principle 1. Lust is not love. Lust is consumption. Love builds. Lust consumes. Love sacrifices. Lust demands. Love is patient. Lust is urgent. Love protects. Lust takes. This matters because many men confuse lust for intimacy. They think constant craving means they are alive. No, constant craving means they are hungry. And hunger without discipline makes you desperate. Desperate men make stupid choices. They chase low-value women. They tolerate disrespect. They spend money they don't have. They risk reputation. They ruin relationships. They destroy families, all for a moment of relief. That is not strength. That is slavery. Principle 2. Lust grows through novelty. This is a law of the mind. The more novelty you consume, the more your brain demands it. That is why pornography is so destructive. It trains your brain to crave endless variety. Real life becomes boring. Real women become less exciting. Real intimacy becomes harder, because your brain has been trained to need new stimulation constantly. So you must understand the enemy. The chain is reinforced by novelty. If you want to break the chain, you must stop feeding novelty. You must return your brain to normal. That takes time. It takes discomfort. It takes patience. But it is possible. Principle 3. Lust is often a mask for emptiness. Many men do not lust because they are overflowing with joy. They lust because they are empty, bored, lonely, stressed, unfulfilled, behind in life. Lust becomes an escape hatch, a quick hit of dopamine that makes you forget you're not building your life. That is why men relapse at night, because night exposes what you avoided all day. So if you want to break the chain, you must stop using lust as an escape. You must face the emptiness and fill it with purpose. Purpose starves lust. Empty time feeds lust. Principle 4. Willpower is not enough. You must cut the supply line. If your trigger is in your pocket, you will lose eventually. If your phone is your private doorway, you will enter it when you are tired. So you cut supply lines, you add friction, you remove access, you block sites, you delete accounts, you remove apps, you stop sleeping with the phone next to you. A man who says he wants freedom but keeps the chain within reach is lying. Freedom requires decisive action. Cut the supply line. Principle 5. Lust is energy. Transmute it. Men do not need less masculine energy. They need to direct it. Lust is raw fire. That fire can either burn your life down or forge your armor. So you transmute. You take that restless energy and you turn it into training, work, creation, building, skill. When the urge hits, you move your body. You lift, you sprint, you do push-ups until the mind goes quiet. You channel the energy into something that builds you. This is ancient masculine knowledge. A man who cannot channel energy will spill it. Principle 6. The battle is won in the first 3 seconds. Most men lose because they entertain the thought. They let it linger. They start bargaining. They start scrolling. They start peeking. And once you open the door, you are already slipping. So you train a rule. When the thought appears, you cut it immediately. No curiosity, no negotiation, no second look. You stand up. You change environment. You do something physical. You remove yourself from the place where weakness wins. You must treat lust like an intruder. You do not invite an intruder in for conversation. You remove him. Principle 7. A man ruled by lust loses his edge. Edge means sharpness, focus, presence, authority. Men with strong edge are dangerous in the right way. They can work for hours. They can endure boredom. They can sit in silence. They can make decisions. Men ruled by lust lose that. They become foggy. They procrastinate. They lose drive. They chase stimulation. They become soft. Then they wonder why they feel like life has no meaning. Meaning does not live in dopamine. Meaning lives in building. Lust steals your building time. So it steals meaning. Principle 8. Lust kills respect, even if no one knows. Men think secrecy protects them. It doesn't. Your nervous system knows. Your eyes know. Your posture knows. Your confidence knows. Because you cannot respect a man who cannot control himself. even if that man is you. Self-respect is internal, and lust erodes it. That erosion shows up as insecurity, as social anxiety, as weak presence, as needing validation, because you don't feel solid. So if you want presence, break the chain. Presence is self-respect made visible. Principle 9. Discipline in lust strengthens discipline everywhere. This is powerful. When you master lust, you master appetite. When you master appetite, you master food. When you master food, you master energy. When you master energy, you master work. When you master work, you master money. When you master money, you master stability. This is why lust is not a side issue. It is a core issue. It is a training ground. A man who can say no to lust can say no to anything. And a man who can say no is free. Principle 10. The goal is not suppression. The goal is governance. Some men try to kill desire. That's not the point. You are a man. Desire exists. The goal is governance. You direct it. You choose when and how it is expressed. You do not allow it to hijack your day. You do not allow it to become secret compulsion. You keep it under law. Law is what separates man from animal. Animals obey impulse. Men obey code. Principle 11. Your future wife will live under your discipline. This is real. A woman cannot feel safe with a man who is constantly hunting. A woman cannot trust a man whose mind is full of strangers. Even if he never cheats physically, his attention is elsewhere. That creates instability, and instability destroys relationships. If you want a strong relationship, you must become a man with clean eyes and controlled desire. Not because you are ashamed, because you respect commitment, because you want loyalty to be real, not performative. Principle 12. Shame is not a strategy. Structure is. Many men try to quit lust through shame. They hate themselves. They promise they will never do it again. Then they relapse. Then they hate themselves more. That spiral is weakness. You don't need shame. You need structure. Identify triggers. Remove access. Replace habits. Build accountability. Train your body. Fix sleep. Fill the day with purpose. Structure starves lust. Shame feeds it. Because shame creates stress, and stress triggers escape. So stop the shame loop. Build structure. Principle 13. Night is where weak men die. Night is when you are tired. Your defenses are low. Your discipline is tested. So you must build a night protocol. No phone in bed. Screens off at a certain hour. Shower. Read. Prepare tomorrow. Sleep. A man who protects his night protects his mind. Most lust battles are won by sleep discipline, because a tired man is vulnerable. A rested man is strong. Principle 14. Accountability ends secrecy. Secrecy is the oxygen of lust addiction. When no one knows, weakness grows. So you need one man, one brother, one mentor, someone you can tell the truth to, not to vent, to be held to standards. A simple check. Did you obey the code today? Yes or no. That alone can stop relapse, because it removes the fantasy that you can live two lives. A warrior lives one life. Principle 15. Breaking the chain restores your masculine fire. Men think lust is masculine fire. It is not. It is a leak. Masculine fire is drive, purpose, courage, ambition, the will to build. Lust drains that fire and gives you smoke, a quick hit, then emptiness. When you break the chain, the fire returns. You wake up sharper. You feel hunger for real goals. You feel more energy in training. You feel more confidence in your presence because your energy is no longer being wasted. Now, let me speak directly to the man who feels trapped. You are not doomed, you are trained, and training can be reversed, but you must be serious, not emotional, serious. Here is a practical battle plan. Step 1. Identify your triggers: time, place, emotion. Night, stress, loneliness, boredom, fatigue. Write it in your mind clearly. Step 2. Cut supply lines, block access, remove apps, no private browsing, no phone in bed, no loopholes. A man who leaves loopholes is planning to fail. Step 3. Replace the habit immediately. When the urge hits, you do a replacement action. Push-ups, cold water, walk outside, work for 5 minutes. Call your accountability brother. Do not sit and think. Movement breaks the spell. Step 4. Fill the day with purpose. Men relapse when they have empty time and no mission. So schedule your day like a fortress. Train, work, build skill, read, create. A busy man with purpose is harder to tempt. Step 5. Sleep discipline. Most relapse happens when you are tired and alone. So protect sleep. Sleep is armor. Step 6. Track clean days and reset instantly after failure. If you fail, do not spiral. Correct immediately. Tighten structure. Return to the code the same day. Now, understand the deeper truth. This battle is not only about lust, it is about whether you can govern yourself. If you cannot govern yourself, you cannot lead, you cannot protect, you cannot be a stable pillar, because your mood and cravings will always pull you off course. So break the chain, not to impress anyone, to become free. Because a free man is rare, a free man is calm, a free man is strong. A free man does not need constant stimulation to feel alive. He is alive because he is building. He is alive because he is disciplined. He is alive because he lives with purpose. So when lust hits you again, and it will, remember, that urge is not an emergency. It is a test of command. And each test you pass strengthens you. Each time you refuse, you gain ground. Each refusal is a link breaking, until one day you look back and realize you are no longer desperate. You are no longer foggy. You are no longer chained. You are a man under law. And that is the real masculinity the world cannot take from you. Because it was never given by the world. It was forged by you. Lust is a chain. Break it and reclaim your focus, your power, and your legacy. That is the warrior's code.